Well, we got to make plays, and this is the number one thing right here is that we're behind the eight ball. We're not good enough to have to play catch-up. Now, we had our first lead in the first quarter this season. Now, we're winning 3-0, but go 5 plays, 59 yards. Groovy makes a 35-yard field goal. It would have been a lot nicer if you'd have been up, 7-0 instead of 3-0. I said this at halftime. The defense has now allowed a touchdown by the opposing team in its first 2 possessions in 4 consecutive games. So that's
14 points, boom.
Yeah, so I'll say we're going to go to Chicago. With the Bears are going to, on the first 2 possessions, they're going to have 14 points. That has to change. And we've been outscored now in the first quarter 65-16. So we're having to play catch up. And when you look at it, 51 offensive plays, that's not good, because we're not converting on third down. You want to be 65 plays at least as an offensive unit or 65 plus. And we're 3 of 9, 33%. Now, that'd be good from a defense perspective like we did last week against the Giants, giving up like that low 30s. But today, the Patriots, 46%, 6 of 13. If you look at Drake Maye at halftime, he had a perfect quarterback rating. Well, so that means a perfect quarterback rating. That means that he's not uncomfortable and he's playing awesome. And Drake Maye definitely looks like the real deal. Now, when you look at Drake Maye, I said this during the week, to show you why he's that's a small fraternity and where he's at right now, and look at his age, considering players under the age of 24 with at least 200 passing yards and a passer rating of 100 or higher in most consecutive games in NFL history, he now has 5. Okay, Pat Mahomes did that in 2018. He had 7. Dan Marino, when I was playing, he had 6 back in 1984. Pat Mahomes again in 18 and 19, he had 5. Dak Prescott, 2016, had 5. Now Drake Maye ties them. Today he had a quarterback rating of 140, and he had 261 yards passing.
Unreal.
I think for us to have a chance, the defense has to play better. We have to be more opportunistic. I thought we needed to be like +1 or +2. We were +5 for the season. Coming into this game, the Patriots were -1. So they end up being +1. So they're even for the season, and now we're +4. So we're not good enough for that to occur. Now, as far as penalties, I think it was a flag-happy group. And you can't say, usually, a lot of Saints fans say, the refs cheated. No, the refs didn't cheat. The Saints got at least 2 definite breaks. That ain't no penalty. That went against the Patriots. So the penalty calls went the Saints' way, I think, overall. They had 11 for 65 yards, but we had 8 for 67. So that's a flag-happy crew. To me, 15 or more penalties, sometimes you wish they would keep it in their pocket. Now with Blake Grupe, this will help him out going forward. He was 4 for 4 in field goals, and when he made that 54-yard, I said, well, he has to make this. He cannot miss it because you wanted to get within 1 score and end up having an opportunity for that. Now, there wasn't much punting going on. I thought that was interesting. The first punt in the game was by Kroger, 4 minutes and 23 seconds. He shanked it. Then their first punt was 2 minutes and 49 seconds. So really, you think you'd see more punts than that. Now, as far as Chris Olave, okay, he started out the game. I thought, come on, Rattler, throw it out there. If you don't underthrow it, that was a 53-yard gain. Maybe he has a touchdown. Splash chunk play from the get-go. But a couple of times, why are you jumping to catch the ball? The ball's right there. You're jumping. Don't leave your feet. Why are you jumping? You look at one time it was a deep pass. Ended up getting a penalty against him, but he looked kind of like a spaz trying to adjust to the ball. I don't know what he was doing. And a contested catch, I hope he'd make that. I mean, that was a touchdown pass right in the end zone. He just got to come up with those plays if he's the number one receiver. And I thought overall, boy, it was a long day for our young defensive backs. I think they got kind of schooled a little bit when you look at the chunk plays by those Patriot receivers, and look at Butte from LSU. 5 targets, 5 catches, 93 yards, 18.6 yard average, 2 touchdowns, a long of 29. You look at Douglas, 3 catches, average right under 24 yards, 53 long gain, 1 touchdown. So, no, they were dicing us up from the get-go. And Olave got targeted. He had 10 targets, 6 catches. The stat line looks good, 98 yards. 16.3 yard average. Had that long gain to start the game, 53. But it should have been
a touchdown.
Yeah, it should have been a lot better. It should have been a lot better than that. Now, we only ran the ball 23 attempts, but we really didn't have enough plays. We only had 51 offensive plays. Like I said, that needs to be around 65 because you look at it, good balance, 26 pass attempts, 23 rushing attempts, but we only averaged 3.2 yards a carry. Kamara was at 3.1. Kendrick Miller, compared to his 2 previous games, where he was over 4 yards, 2.6 yard average per carry. So Kamara, total yards of scrimmage, ended up getting 76. But for him truly to be where we need him for our offense, that needs to be about 50 yards more. I would say around that 125 mark. Now, looking at Spencer Rattler, had a quarterback rating 102.6, 20 of 26. Spencer Rattler's not necessarily why we're not winning, and we're not helping him when he is making the plays. I think he's playing with a lot of confidence, but as good as Spencer Rattler's been, Drake Maye's on a different level.
Right.
Drake Maye looks like amongst the elite of the NFL quarterbacks right now, and you could see the future that they're going to have with him. How he extends plays, his pocket awareness. You could see it on. And Spencer does an overall good job with his pocket presence or pocket awareness, I should say. But the only time I thought, well, it was like a turnover, so I guess you could say that was even. Remember the 4th and 7, and I don't know if Drake Maye wasn't ready for the snap. It was like it went by him, or it didn't look like a bad snap. It was like minus 16 aborted play. To me, that was like a turnover. They were up 14-13. Now we went 8 plays, 27 yards, and 34. Rattler to Olave would have been a 20-yard touchdown. How about you catch the ball? So instead of settling for a field goal, you could have had a touchdown with that opportunity. And I thought at halftime they wasn't good, though, because we already had given up 22 points. Now, if it was at the end of the game and we were giving up 22 points, I'd say, oh, well, the Saints always have to do something. But we end up, doing pretty good when you consider they had 22 points at half and they only ended up with 25. So that was a positive there. But it didn't seem like that if we really needed to get a stop against the Patriots, they seemed like they were setting the tone. And they were always under control of the ebb and flow of the tempo. I thought overall, with our defensive backs, like Sanker, Riley, Quincy Riley, this is the NFL. That's good. They're having to learn on the run. But they were making the contested catches, and we were not. And it's going to be tough to win in Chicago. I can tell you right now, we'll be dealing, I think it might be a nice football day. And right now, I don't know the forecast, but it's not going to be like it's playing the Bears in December or something. So we have a great opportunity, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to come away with a win on the road. But unless you look at the Seattle game, where that was an embarrassing performance, no, it's not embarrassing, but it's not PE class. Are you winning? Are you losing? There's no moral victories. We're playing hard.
The fact that it is close makes it more frustrating.
Yes, yeah. But then I think the Boo Birds would come out if you were getting like a Seattle performance. But no, we're right there. But again, it all goes back to the moral of the story. The defense now has allowed a touchdown on opposing teams' first 2 possessions in 4 consecutive games.
14 points. Boom, boom. 2 drives for them.
When we go to Chicago, just look, the first 2 times the Bears got the ball. They can't be winning. They can't have 14 points on the board Because then you're always playing catch.